Adam, safe to say on a back-to-back like this, maybe the fuel gauge was running a little low by that third period?
Maybe on the back end, I think losing Samberg in the second puts a lot of minutes on those guys, but I don't think it was energy that was the issue. I think it was just the execution. For the most part, like our first period, we have some chances. Obviously, go into the first intermission down one, but I think kind of the style of game was right. The game plan was there. I think come out in the second period and there was a lot of shooting ourselves in the foot, turning pucks over in the neutral zone, turning pucks over in the high zone in our end, and if it weren't for comps, it wouldn't have been very close after the second. So obviously on the road, tied 1-1, you don't love how your second period is. You hope that you can kind of turn the page and come out with better third, and we didn't do that. So just disappointed with kind of how the way the game unfolded. I think overall it's not going to be blamed on a lack of energy. I think even if you don't have energy, it's the reads, it's kind of the battle level. So I think there's just another level that we got to get to and we expect to get to. So use tomorrow to regroup and get ready for a real good Minnesota team.
I guess give the Predators some credit too, right? They're a desperate group. Their season hasn't gone the way they've liked, so they probably see a chance, especially in that third period, to maybe really come out and grab two.
Yeah, for sure. I think Saros played great, but the style of play we expect from them, especially when they're at home, they're a hard forechecking team. They create a lot of turnovers off of that forecheck. They get a lot of pucks to the slot, and they got some guys on the back end that are real active. I think when we look at their roster, obviously they've had a disappointing start to the season, but I think they're a team that's a lot better than their record shows. So. Like I said earlier, we're disappointed with the result. You have to give them some credit, but I think when we watch the tape, when we look at the things that we need to improve upon, it's a lot like the Florida game in Florida where just some reads are off. Some plays along the wall, some plays in the middle that maybe we're forcing that we don't need to force, and just puck management. I think that was kind of our biggest issue tonight.
Just describe your goal, Adam. How did you keep an eye on the puck, with all the bodies that were kind of flying around there in the crease?
Yeah, it's credit to my line mates and the guys on the back end. It was just one of those shifts kind of working around on the cycle, and I might just wait here. Puck gets through and then just going to the net, and Nino and Appy battling hard, and fortunately I was able to just find it kind of sitting there. Saros went to cover it and kind of get it free before I got knocked over. So that's kind of how our line wants to chip in offensively. Obviously, it would have been nice to get that one shorthanded and put us in a better position.
Just one more for me, but Dylan Samberg, you mentioned he's been such a big part of stepped up, elevated role this year. Obviously, to lose him was a big factor, and no doubt everybody's kind of hoping it's nothing too significant.
Yeah, I think just kind of how tough he is. He blocks that Stamkos shot, and he's hobbled around and he gets right back in the lane to try and block it again. About 10-15 seconds later. So. He's really stepped up this year. He's really solidified that second pair with P, and we can't say enough about what he means to this team. I think he does a lot of really unheralded things that you don't necessarily see showing up on a score sheet that contribute to the start we've had this year. So we're hoping for the best, but it'd be a big loss if he's out any amount of time.
You used the term disappointed in this loss. It seems to be a common theme the few times you guys have lost this year. Is there something about the way this team kind of almost like digs into and feels the losses this year that has helped fuel you?
Yeah, I think it just comes from the expectations. I think, we go into every game expecting to win, expecting to put our best foot forward. And, I don't want to say it's not an arrogant thing. I think it's just a thing we have a lot of belief in this group that when we play within our structure, when we manage pucks, when we get to the forecheck, kind of when we close lanes in the D zone, we're a tough team to beat. We got great goaltending. We've showed we can put the puck in that. So, I think anytime you don't get the result that you're expecting, you're going to be disappointed. I think what we've done a good job of this year, coming off of losses or games we haven't loved, is we've reviewed them and then really implemented some changes or gotten back to the style we need to kind of get back on the right foot. So, like I said earlier, day off tomorrow, but come to the rink ready Monday. Kind of learn from this loss, and then get ready for the Wild, who are off to an incredible start too.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
How are you? I want to build on what Adam just said. It seems like there's a real kind of digging in, almost rooting into feeling the disappointment in losses this year. Is that a valuable tool for this team?
For sure. There are lessons to be learned here in the regular season to hopefully, we still have to make the playoffs, but obviously, hopefully, lessons learned in the regular season to carry over so we can be dialed in come playoff time when it matters the most. So, we know exactly what went wrong tonight, and maybe when you don't have your legs or you don't have that, lack of a better word, jam, maybe you got to play a smart game, and we just didn't. On a back-to-back on the road, you have to simplify, and we just made it a lot harder on ourselves than we needed to be. And a team that's rested and waiting for us, obviously, they had real good legs and they were on it, and credit to them. I thought they played a really strong game. So, lessons to learn, and we move on, learn from it, and get better.
Shot blocking is such a big part of being a defenseman, and Dylan does it probably as well as anybody. So when you see him go down like that and struggle to get up, I guess you guys go, he gets up all the time, right? So I knew it was maybe a little more serious.
For sure. I mean, the one time he doesn't go down on one knee and it hits him right in the laces. So we hope that he's all right. But he does so much for us in that regard with, not just shot blocking, but having a good stick and breaking up a lot of plays. So we missed him out there tonight for sure. We hope that it's not too serious.
Take me through just what that's like as one of the 5 remaining defensemen with still so much time on the clock. You're out there with different partners, right? And obviously increased minutes, just a little chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to play with whoever. It's kind of nice. I guess we get to just roll them. Maybe we would have loved it more if it wasn't a back-to-back. Right. Obviously, quite depleted energy level there, but we battled hard and, did what we could. Anytime you go down a D-man, obviously everybody's got to step up and not just the D. Forwards obviously have to recognize that and, maybe I'm going to say work harder back for us, but just be cautious of, that we're down a man and that we're not, as fresh as we'd like to be. So, guys aren't definitely going to complain about more ice, that's for sure. But, we don't want to see anybody go out, but then it's on everybody to step up.
2 more quick ones, but obviously a shot block ended up being a key part of that game because Stamkos goes right onto him. That's where you guys do the right thing, right? And just can't control sometimes where the puck goes.
Yeah, you just line up at center and move on. Not much you can do on that one.
Right. And just near the end of the game, did you get a look at that hit on Josh? Did you think that Mike was in the head, or?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to go for the puck, and I can't really say. Don't want to get in trouble or don't want to say anything out of turn.
Thanks.
Thank you. Playing it safe.
Samberg? Can you tell us anything yet, or too early?
Yeah, he's got a broken foot, so it's not good. So he's we're going to send him home tomorrow when we get back to when we get to Mini, and then we'll get it looked at when he gets home.
We're used to seeing him block so many shots and just get up. Did you have a sense that one might have been a little more of an issue?
Well, I mean, he stayed and he got up and kind of tried to finish the kill and then got himself off. But I've seen him go down before. He does that a lot. Obviously, blocks an awful lot of shots. And actually, he's got the shot blockers on the side. I think this one hit him on the top of the laces. So, he's a warrior, and that's a big hole for us.
I don't know. Is there a typical timeline when you're talking about a broken?
I agree. They've got to figure out what we got here first.
Obviously, that puts you guys in a position on a back-to-back where you guys are already probably feeling a little bit, and your D really were taxed, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of strain on our D. Obviously, just probably the biggest thing is that the forwards, we needed to do some heavy lifting, and we kind of put more pressure on ourselves by not gaining zones and not moving the puck to the next spot. We kind of we lost some battles, turned some pucks over, had a few extended long shifts in our end of the rink, and they you could tell that they got some little wind in behind their sails and came after us. But I mean, at the end of the period, at the end of the second period, it was a 1-1 hockey game. So it was just it was taxing for our D for sure.
So where do you think that game then turned? Was it a case of they get that kind of fortunate bounce off another shot block, right, and make it 2-1, and then did you feel like your group maybe sagged a little bit after that?
There was a little bit. I just think in the second period there, when our D were, they got caught out tired, so it was hard to them. Everything that we do with our D, whether it's defending quick, whether that's jumping in the rush, that's being a part of the offense, stuff that we needed. They were kind of tired. They were more changing. And then, just our realization that, when we did get the puck down in low on Nashville, that we got zone time. We had to, we got a lot more opportunities that way. We just didn't do enough of that.
In that sense, did Eric Comrie keep the score maybe a little more flattering than it was at the time?
Yeah, he was fantastic. He he made some huge stops, and we know that they've got some high end talent, some high end offense, and they were throwing a lot of pucks at the net front with bodies there, and I think Combs was outstanding.
I continually get the sense in the very few losses you guys have had that, Adam Lowry talked about how disappointed he was in this. Dylan said the same thing. It seems like this team doesn't just pass over losses and move on. It kind of digs into them. What do you like about that?
Well, that's a great sign. It's not just being happy with, with just maybe we were close or we almost could have had a game. And it's just guys want to win every game. They want to go to every night and get the 2 points. And I don't have to say much. They know when we're not at our best, and that's just, again, like a win. We'll turn around, do some video, look at it, get ourselves geared up. Now we got another big Central Division matchup coming here on Monday.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.